We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM about Baraha Bhagavan. We heard how he killed Hiranyaksha, and then again Vidur inquired for more details. So we heard how Diti wanted to have a child and was approaching Kashyap Rishi, but at inappropriate time. But still she was pressing. So finally Kashyap Rishi fulfilled, but he said that son will be something problematic. I forgot. Yes. O haughty one, you will have two contemptuous sons born of your condemned womb. Unlucky woman, they will cause constant lamentation to all the three worlds. They will kill poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. Diti said, "It is very good that my sons will be magnanimously killed by the arms of the Personality of Godhead with his Sudarshan weapon. O my husband, may they never be killed by the wrath of the Brahmana devotees." We heard up to this point. Na Brahmadanda Dagdhasya Nabhuta Bayadasya Cha Narakas Chanu Grinanti Yam Yonim Asogata. A person who is condemned by a Brahmana or is always fearful to other living entities is not favored either by those who are already in hell or by those in the species in which he is born. Kashyapa Uvach Krita Shokanu Tapena Sadhyah Pratyavamarshanat Bhagavati Urumanacha Bhave Maya Pichadarat Putrasyaiva Cha Putranam Bhavitaika Satamata Gasyanti Yati Yasha Shuddham Bhagavat Yasha Sasamam. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your lamentation, she was sorry for what she did. Because of your lamentation, penitence, and proper deliberation, and also because of your unflinching faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and your adoration for Lord Shiva and me, one of the sons, that is Prahlad, of your son, that is Hiranyakashipu, will be an approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcast equally with that of the Personality of Godhead. We heard up to this verse, now I remember. So I remember last time I was speaking that when devotee will do something wrong due to pressure of previous deeds, then he will regret, lament, he will be sorry. That is sign of his sincerity, and he will pray to Krishna, and Krishna will forgive him. And also, so this is one case where though he is doing something wrong, but he will rectify that just by repentance. something good will come from that repentance. Another is, we heard last time, Krishna said in 11th Canto to Uddhava that those who will awaken faith in Krishna, they are eligible for practicing Bhakti Yoga, but it may happen that they know that all this lust and these things, ultimately it is bringing suffering. So they know it is bad, but still because of bad habits, they are unable to fully give that up. So Krishna says they should not stop worshipping me, they should go on worshipping me, and when they will want to fulfill those desires, they should not do it with adoration, means with approval, with appreciation, but they should regret that they are doing. So while doing, they should regret and condemn themselves. And worshiping Krishna, then gradually that kind of effort will also bring good result. They will gradually be purified. Last time I said that some say, why so many rules and regulations? This is all useless and nothing to do with anything. And no, these things are good. Some people, they argue. So it means that is not sincere devotion. So they will not be able to get rid of those anarthas from their heart because they are accepting it with adoration. But a sincere devotee will think it is not good I'm so unfortunate, I will ruin myself. He will lament, regret, so that will help him to overcome that. And our Gurudev also told that in the life of sadhaka there are different waves, good waves and bad waves. Good waves is when he's thinking, yes, I am eternal servant of Krishna, I should worship him, this is all non-eternal, and he will have renunciation and will worship Krishna. But then sometimes bad wave will come, bad samskaras, and he will struggle with those sense gratification desires. So Gurudev told that when that bad wave comes, you should try as much as possible to subdue that tendency. You should try as much as possible. Even if you will fail, still you will do that wrong thing. This effort which you gave to try to win over that will not go in vain. It will have effect. Next time that bad wave will come, it will come with lesser force. But if you go on fulfilling those desires with adoration, not trying to stop them or thinking it is something good or not bad like this, then next time that bad wave will come with more force, like putting fuel to the fire. So we have to give our effort, even if externally we are not fully successful, still we'll do it, but that effort will not go in vain. This is the power of lamentation and regret. So if sadhaka will practice in this way, when he will be in good wave, good thoughts, then he should worship Krishna as much as possible, should increase, because that will not last. But if he will worship more, then next time that good wave will come, it will come with more force. And bad wave, we should try to subdue bad things, and that will come with lesser force. So if we try like that, sadhaka, sincere sadhaka will do like this, then gradually those bad thoughts, bad waves will be removed, and good thoughts, that devotion to Krishna, will be increased. Then you will become gradually, you will become a realized soul, or widows. There is a struggle in sadhana. And another example also is there, how regret also works. You remember Prahlad got one son, Virochan. And Prahlad tried his best to make him devotee by his own example and by advice, and also he sent him to the school of demigods, I think to Brihaspati or some, means this. He tried, because it is his duty to make his son Krishna conscious, means he has to try. You cannot make it a firm determination to execute, because every jiva has free will, but we have to give our effort. We have to do our duty. So, in spite of Prahlad trying very much, still Virochan could not become a devotee of Supreme Lord. He became demon. Prahlad Maharaj was not disturbed by that in that sense that he will now try to beat his son. No. He thought, I did my duty. But because of his previous bad impressions of so many lives, he is unable to become a devotee. So what to do? He accepted the situation. He did not become angry, he did not beat his son, nor he ever disrespected his father. He also tried to explain to his father Hiranyakashipu, but he could not become devotee. But Prahlad never disrespected his father, and his son could not become devotee. Prahlad Maharaj never became angry on him. Why? Because he is a pure devotee. His target is to satisfy Krishna, not any other purpose. So he did his duty and understood that because of their demoniac sanskaras, they are unable to accept. So he accepted the situation. But because he was doing with love, really with love, not with some other ulterior motive. We sometimes want to make someone devotee for our own benefit, worldly benefit, for name and fame, or for getting some money from him or something. Our selfish interest is there. But he had no such selfish interest. He was pure devotee. So he was doing really out of compassion, out of love for Virochan. So that also had some effect in the heart of Virochan. What happened? Virochan regretted. My father is trying so much to make me devotee, but I am unable to become a devotee. He was regretting, lamenting. So that effect happened in his heart, because Prahlad was doing as it should be, without any ulterior motives, really out of love. So that regret inside Virochan bore fruit when his son, that is Bali Maharaj, became great devotee. So nothing goes in vain. Like here, Draupadi could not check herself. No, not Draupadi, Diti, sorry. Could not check herself. She knew it is wrong, but could not check herself. But she also regretted, lamented. So there is some good result also. Prahlad will become devotee. Her grandson, because of her lamentation. And Prahlada's grandson also became devotee, Bali Maharaj, because of regret of Virochan. So, in any case, we have to try. That will not go in vain. Yogair hemeva durvarnam bhavayishyanti sadava nirvairadibir atmanam yachilam anuvartitum. In order to follow in his footsteps, saintly persons will try to emulate his character by practicing freedom from animosity, just as the purifying processes rectify gold of inferior quality. You remember, Prahlad Maharaj told to his father and also to Sanda and Tamarka, don't have animosity based on wrong perception. Like, this is my country, that is another country, we are friends, they are enemies, this is mine, that is yours. Based on this wrong perception, wrong vision, material vision, you are having animosity. You are thinking, he is my enemy, he is my friend. But realized soul, one who sees the truth, he sees all are related to Supreme Lord as his sons, and we are also all related in relation to Krishna. So there is no enemy. Prahlad said to his father, why you are seeing Vishnu as your enemy? No one is our enemy. Our enemy is only our uncontrolled mind, because of which we are having such wrong vision of you and me, mine and yours, all this vision of difference. So, following in the footsteps, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard Prahlad Charit hundreds of times. Again, he wanted to hear. To teach us, by example, that we have to hear and also practice the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj. He also told to demon boys, his schoolmates, about devotion to Krishna. He told, don't you give up this vision, friends and foes. So, saintly persons will try to emulate his character, means to follow his character, by practicing freedom from animosity. That is not possible by any other way unless you get that proper vision. That no one is foreigner or stranger or someone. No, we are all related in relation to Krishna. No one harms his own family members unless he is mad. That is also happening in Kali Yuga. But generally, for the own persons, we are having friendly or well-wishing thing. We never harm them, but we are ready to harm others for the sake of selfish purpose. But when you can see that all belong to you, we are all relatives, then you cannot harm anyone. So Prahlad Maharaj had such vision, and we have to get it by practicing that process as given by him. Here, in commentary, Srila Sai Maharaj is saying, yoga practice, the process of purifying one's existential identity, is based mainly on self-control. Without self-control, one cannot practice freedom from animosity. In the conditional state, every living being is envious of another living being, but in the liberated state, there is an absence of animosity. Prahlad Maharaj was tortured by his father in so many ways, yet after the death of his father, he prayed for his father's liberation by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He did not ask any benediction that he might have asked, but he prayed that his atheistic father might be liberated. He never cursed any of the persons who engaged in torturing him at the instigation of his father. No enmity to anyone. And also, now we heard, no enmity to his son, though he could not become devotee. But because we have selfish purpose, when we cannot achieve something, then we become angry and violent to that person. But he did not, because he is satisfied in his service of Krishna, no any other desire. So he thought, I did my duty. He could not accept what I can do. It is such situation. Yat prasadat idam vishwam prasidati yat atmakam sa svadrik bhagavanyasya toshyate nanyaya drisha. Everyone will be pleased with him because the personality of Godhead, the supreme controller of the universe, is always satisfied with a devotee who does not wish for anything beyond him, means beyond Krishna. He's speaking about Prahlad here. He does not want anything beyond, means anything else than the service of Krishna. In commentary, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated everywhere as the Super Soul, and he can dictate to anyone and everyone as he likes. The would-be grandson of Diti, who was predicted to be a great devotee, would be liked by everyone, even by the enemies of his father, because he would have no other vision besides the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure devotee of the Lord sees the presence of his worshipable Lord everywhere. The Lord reciprocates in such a way that all living entities in whom the Lord is dwelling, as the Super Soul, also like a pure devotee, because the Lord is present in their hearts and can dictate to them to be friendly to his devotee. There are many instances in history wherein even the most ferocious animal became friendly to a pure devotee of the Lord. That is Dhruva Maharaj's case. He gave up all animosity based on thinking that my stepmother is the cause of my suffering. He gave up that, no animosity, so Krishna was directly protecting. So even ferocious animals whose nature is to eat human beings, they could not do anything to him, because Supreme Lord was controlling them. And when he came back, even before that, when he gave up animosity and was in the forest chanting from the core of heart, even at that time, his father's heart totally changed. He was regretting his action and was only thinking of Dhruva, and his stepmother also was regretting. She was also crying. Dhruva did not go to them to demand, why you are behaving in such a way with me? You should change, you should be favorable to me. He never requested, he never demanded, nothing. It automatically happened when Dhruva changed himself. When he became a devotee of Krishna, pure devotee, because he gave up that animosity, this effect automatically happened. And when Dhruva came back after getting darshan of Krishna, Suruchi, stepmother, she also uttered this. The one who will satisfy Supreme Lord, everyone will be satisfied with him and everyone will respect him. She also blessed him. So automatically it happens when we can rectify ourselves. Savai Maha Bhagavato Mahatma Mahanubhavo Mahatam Mahishta Pravrita Bhaktya Hyanu Bhavi Tashaye Niveshya Vaikuntam Imam Vihasyati. That topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence and will be the greatest of the great souls. Due to matured devotional service, he will certainly be situated in transcendental ecstasy and will enter the spiritual sky after quitting this material world. One example also I remembered, we are hearing in, I think, Rasika Murari's biography, somewhere, yes, one Muslim was envious of devotee, so he sent one mad elephant to disturb the devotees or to kill. He sent that, but when that mad elephant came in front of Rasik Murari, he automatically became pacified and bowed down to Rasika Murari, became surrendered. Then Rasika Murari initiated him into Harinam. So such is the power of pure devotee, they can affect the change of heart of everyone. Even most sinful, or like Mahaprabhu to animals, Narad Goswami also, he changed. So that is the power of Mahabhagavat. That is why Kanishta is that devotee who will call Krishna with faith, and Madhyama Adhikari is one who will always chant Harinam, always will serve Krishna, because he already freed himself from all other desires, so he will constantly chant. But Uttamadhikari Mahabhagavat devotee is that in whose presence others will automatically be inspired to give up their bad nature and to worship Krishna, to chant his name. Here in commentary, there are 3 stages of transcendental development in devotional service, which are technically called Sthayi Bhav, Anubhav and Mahabhav. Continual perfect love of Godhead is called Sthayi Bhav, and when it is performed in a particular type of transcendental relationship, it is called Anubhav. But the stage of Mahabhav is visible amongst the personal pleasure potential energies of the Lord, that is Swarup Shakti. It is understood that the grandson of Diti, namely Prahlad Maharaj, would constantly meditate on the Lord and reiterate his activities. Because he would constantly remain in meditation, he would easily transfer himself to the spiritual world after quitting his material body. Such meditation is still more conveniently performed by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. This is especially recommended in this age of Kali. One time I asked Gurudev that many Vaishnavas, they will try to engage me in different services. So if I will want to do all those, then whole time will be spent in one day and I will not be able to do all those things. So I want your advice, what service I have to do. So then Gurudev first asked me what Prahlad Maharaj said. I said Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Padasevan, these 9 forms of devotion. Guru said yes. But what did he do, Prahlad? I said Smaran. Guru said yes. Because he was in such circumstance that for him it was not possible to do other devotional forms because surrounded by demoniac people, so he could do internally, he was always thinking of Supreme Lord because of his circumstance. Then he said, so now we are in Kali Yuga. For us, in Kali Yuga, there is Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Nasteva Gutiranata. Though there are so many devotional forms mentioned in scriptures and by devotees, and they are all good, but we have to consider the circumstance. Guru said in Kali Yuga, in other devotional forms there may be some difficulty. So we are, there is that recommendation, we have to give importance on chanting Harinam. That can be done under all circumstances. Even if you are sick, you are lying down, impure state, pure state, your mind is disturbed, no control over sense, nothing. But all the time, this process can be done by anyone. Healthy, sick, poor, wealthy, anyone can do. There is no difficulty. So Gurudev told you should give importance on chanting Harinam. That is the main thing. And especially because now in Kali Yuga, and I also have personal experience, I many times tell. Once we were going from Delhi to Chandigarh with Gurudev. So we entered the train in Delhi train station, and while in the wagon inside, one lady, Indian lady, she approached Gurudev. In English she spoke. She said, Swamiji, I am so much impressed by you. Such effulgence and such atmosphere is here, and also I saw before other devotees outside. I am so impressed. Such like atmosphere, peaceful and blissful and all this. Then she asked, Swamiji, how many hours do you sit in meditation? Then Gurudev smiled and looked at me, and facing me, telling to her, because I was there standing, he said, I am not eligible for meditation. My mind is restless. I am not eligible for meditation. I am doing Harinam. It is in Kali Yuga, and he spoke this verse, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. So there is practical example that one can get that pure devotion. Even non-devotees, like someone there, can recognize this result in Gurudev. So it is there, but if I am not getting, it means there is some defect in my chanting. Some offenses are there, inattentiveness and other things, and also it also takes some time. Depends how intense is our bhajan, our chanting, that quickly we can get such a result. But there are such devotees who got such result by chanting Harinam. There was also one, our Gurudev used to say, our Parangurudev, he used to fast on Janmashtami day. Now soon Janmashtami will come. He did not eat anything nor drink, and at midnight there was Abhishek, and then offering, and they would dress the deity, and then there was Arati and everything. So around 2 a.m. in the morning, because there was also Bhagavatam class when pujaris were doing all those things. So also Bhagavatam class. So around 2 a.m. means they would get that Anukalpa Prasad, means Ekadashi preparations, prasad, fruits, potato and this. I was also one time in Calcutta for Janmashtami. I think that time it was like 2:30 a.m. when prasad was distributed. But our Parangurudev did not take that even. He would continue fasting till the morning, and in the morning they brought him some only to, he wanted to break fast, not full meal, only to break fast. And because so many devotees came, Parangurudev would meet them and speak with them and invite them to stay for Anandotsav, that Nandotsav festival of Nanda Maharaj. So that time also they make big cooking, so it takes time. So offering comes little late, like noon time. There will be prasad, so Parangurudev used to invite. So in the morning also one person came and sat in front of Bhajan Kutir of our Parangurudev. You saw that room. He sat there and he was listening to Parangurudev. Then after some time he stood up and went out. Then Parangurudev told to our Gurudev, you invite him for prasad. Then our Gurudev went to that person. He said, today is Nandotsav. We are cooking. It will take some time. So you please stay for prasad also. They said, yes, later I will come. Later I will come again. So it happened. Then after a few hours he came back. Again he went to the room of Parangurudev and sat for some time. Again he stood up and went out. Again Gurudev told him, you please stay for prasad. He said, yes, later I will come, later I will come. Then again he came, and Parangurudev did not eat anything. Although that prasad was already distributed, Parangurudev did not eat. Only he broke the fast in the morning, and speaking with so many devotees came. Before they will leave, he used to give time to everyone to answer question or like this. So then that person for the third time came, sat there, and quickly he became irritated. Then he became angry and he stood up there and he said, Swamiji, when are you doing bhajan? Your whole day you are speaking. Only you are speaking. When are you doing bhajan? Like challenging. And that was like in afternoon already. Said, I came early in the morning, you were speaking. And then later I came, you were again speaking. And now you are again speaking. When you were doing bhajan? Then Parangurudev was never disturbed because Trinada Pisunicham is natural. Tarora Pisa is natural. Because not in this world, no forcing or nothing. He was not disturbed. Our Gurudev said, I never saw my Gurudev disturbed in my whole life. Although so many times he was challenged and challenging situation like this, but he was never disturbed, always smiling. Because pure devotee, always calm and serene. So Parangurudev said, what is bhajan? Then that person, he sat in yoga asana, that Padma asana, lotus seat, and sat very erect and closed his eyes and showing like as if he's meditating. Said, this is bhajan. You are all the time speaking, and when you are doing bhajan. Then Parangurudev said, yes, that may be possible for you, that you can do such bhajan. That may be possible for you, but for me it is not possible. I have so many other thoughts in my mind. If I try to sit and meditate on my object of worship, then my mind goes here and there. I cannot concentrate, it is going here and there. So it may be possible for you, but it is not possible for me. But when I speak about Krishna, what I heard from my Gurudev about Krishna and from authentic scriptures, when I speak, then automatically I have to be present there with my mind. Otherwise, my speaking will be incoherent, means not proper. I have to concentrate. I am forced to concentrate on Krishna by speaking about him. And they are all devotees. They came to hear, and they ask questions. So when I am speaking about Krishna, then I get concentration of mind to Krishna. So that is what I am doing. So when he explained, and Parangurudev also is realized, so then that person became pacified and he understood. Then he took that prasad finally. Before he said, no, later, but Parangurudev, when all devotees, they were served, and when they all were satisfied, and when they left to their destination, then ultimately Parangurudev used to take some prasad. Why? Because he is getting the nectar of speaking Harikatha. So he has no such necessity for food, as we are always thinking of food. When midnight, the so long fasting, Janmashtami, all these very difficult. So we are thinking like this. But such pure devotees, they are thinking about service of Krishna. So we can get that remembrance if we sit and chant Japamala Harinam. That is some more difficulty as in a lonely place like this. Haridas Thakur can do, not others. So for us it is recommended to congregationally chant together with devotees loudly. That will help us to get more remembrance of Krishna. Or as our here Parangurudev also told, Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Hoibe. When you speak about Krishna, then you will have to concentrate. So that will also help. That will be bhajan, speaking Harikatha. And one time that same year when I was in Calcutta for Janmashtami, Then this topic about fasting and came to Bharati Maharaj. Then he said, why devotees they are fasting on Janmashtami? Why there is fasting? And we could not give proper reply. Then Maharaj said, because Krishna is appearing and devotees, when Krishna appears, they're getting such bliss, transcendental bliss, that they are not thinking of any food. So naturally they are fasting. They're so satisfied. Like you remember when Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. So Brajavasis, they were seeing Krishna continuously, and because of getting that complete bliss in seeing Krishna, it is written there, they forgot about sleeping, eating, drinking, anything. No requirement, because already they're getting absolute, complete reality, fully satisfied. So Bharati Maharaj told, devotees, they are not thinking about eating. So much bliss they are having. But then he said, but we are not on that stage. He is, but he saw that we are not. So in Vaidhi Bhakti platform, this fasting is given as a rule. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Sanatana Goswami, when you will write that Hari Bhakti Vilas, you should explain about fasting days also, Ekadashis, and appearance day of Supreme Lord, fasting, how it should be done, to which time and everything. So that is devotional practice. We have to do it for this satisfaction of Krishna. In Raga Marg, they will not think about food. But we have to fast to satisfy Krishna, and before taking initiation, Harinam initiation, one has to know these things and agree to this. Regular chanting and following 4 regulative principles, and including these fastings. It is also that aspirant has to agree to follow. So we have to follow only if there is some health issues in old age or something is there, then one may take something that which is not breaking the fast, like fruits, milk, juice, fruit juice, all these things can take already before that particular time. But in that case, one has to then compensate with more chanting. Like if you are not fasting till midnight for Janmashtami, you are taking something, then you have to chant more. But it should not be done without any reason, like health issue or something. If one is okay, then he should fast. It is for the satisfaction of Krishna. Then after midnight, you can take that Anukalpa Prasad, and in the morning you have to break fast. Just this. So, meditation is possible for Prahlad, but in Kali Yuga, that process is difficult. So we are recommended to chant Harinam, but even chanting Harinam in lonely place, we will not be able to do. We have to do in association with devotees, and also hear Harikatha and speak Harikatha. Speaking Harikatha will give more concentration to the object of worship. Only this one verse I will read. Alampata shiladharo gunakaro Hrishta parardya vyatito dukhiteshu abhuta shatrur jagata shokaharta Naidhaghikam tapam evo duraja. He will be virtuously qualified reservoir of all good qualities. He will be jolly and happy in others' happiness. Conditioned souls, when we see someone happy, we become morose out of envy. But one who is not envious, he is happy to see others happy. Distressed in others' distress. When we see others' distress, we are very happy. Yes, he deserved it. Yes. But for Vaishnava, he is feeling unhappy to see others unhappy. Paradukha dukhi. And will have no enemies. Means he will not see anyone as his enemy. He will be a destroyer of the lamentation of all the universes, like the pleasant moon after the summer sun. Here, in commentary, Prahlad Maharaj, the exemplary devotee of the Lord, had all the good qualities humanly possible. Although he was the emperor of this world, he was not profligate. Beginning from his childhood, he was the reservoir of all good qualities. Without enumerating those qualities, it is said here summarily that he was endowed with all good qualities. That is the sign of a pure devotee. The most important characteristic of a pure devotee is that he is not lampad or licentious, that is debauch. And another quality is that he is always eager to mitigate the miseries of suffering humanity. The most obnoxious misery of a living entity is his forgetfulness of Krishna. A pure devotee, therefore, always tries to evoke everyone's Krishna consciousness. This is the panacea for all miseries. But we have to be devotee, then we can inspire others to become. Practical devotee we have to be, not only in showing. So when we will practically, then we can inspire others also. So now in Vienna temple, there will be Bhagavat Katha for 7 days from Balaram Purnim till Janmashtami, and one devotee from India, a very good devotee, now he's Bodhayan Maharaj. He is not so practiced in speaking in English, but I think he is, out of humbleness, he's saying. So he was thinking that maybe I will need some help in English, some words. If I say in Hindi or Bengali, then if someone can say in English, that would help. So then Muni Maharaj requested me if I can come. So I said, I can come, but my knowledge is also limited, both of language and also of topics of Bhagavatam is limited. I can try, but I don't know how much I can actually serve. I can try. So tomorrow I will go there, and I will be there till 11th September. So till that time there will be no Skype, unless you yourself want to make, like for Balaram Purnim, you can read from Gurudev's book, or Janmashtami, or like this, you can make here on Skype if you want. So fasting is on Balaram Purnim up to 12, then Ekadashi preparations only, that is noon time. For Janmashtami it is up to midnight, then Ekadashi preparations and like this. So if anyone will need me, then they can contact me on Facebook or WhatsApp. So no Skype program till 12th of September. So you please bless me that I may do some service. How much it will be possible. I'm full of drawbacks and no inclination to serve, but devotees, they are merciful. They anyhow they want to engage me. So you please bless me that I may at least try to do some service there. And we'll meet then on 12th September here on Skype. Very well.